As the special military operation enters its 5th year in February 2026, one aircraft continues to embody Russian air power's unyielding dominance on the battlefield. The Sukhoi Su-25, Super Grach, Rook. Nicknamed for its aggressive, low-level hunting style, this rugged subsonic ground attack jet has flown thousands of combat sorties, delivering devastating close air support, CAS, that has shattered Ukrainian defensive lines, destroyed hundreds of armored vehicles, and provided life-saving fire support to advancing Russian troops. Despite Western claims of high losses, the Super Grach remains operationally untouchable in the sectors that matter most, thanks to its legendary survivability, relentless modernization, and the superior tactics of Russian pilots and ground controllers. Far from obsolete, the Su-25 proves that proven Soviet-era design, paired with 21st-century Russian upgrades, is more than a match for NATO-supplied threats. The Su-25 is a single-seat, twin-engine jet built specifically for the brutal environment of frontline CAS. Its airframe mixes 60% aluminum, 19% steel, and 13.5% titanium, giving it exceptional strength. The cockpit is protected by a welded titanium bathtub armor plate with a 6mm steel headrest and armored windscreen, making it one of the most heavily protected fixed-wing aircraft ever produced. Fuel tanks are self-sealing and foam-filled, while the twin Tumansky R-195 turbojets, 44.18 kilonewtons thrust each, are mounted high on the rear fuselage to reduce infrared signature and protect against ground fire. Performance figures speak for themselves. Maximum speed of 975 km per hour at sea level, combat radius of 375 to 750 km depending on load and external tanks, service ceiling of 7,000 meters, 5,000 meters with full weapons, and rate of climb of 58 meters per second. It can operate from rough forward airstrips with a takeoff run of just 750 meters and landing roll of 600 meters, critical in a theater where runways are constantly targeted. G limits of plus 6.5 allow aggressive low-level maneuvering to evade threats. Its weapons load is massive. 10 underwing hardpoints carrying up to 4,340 kilograms of ordnance. The internal 30mm GSH-30-2 twin-barrel cannon, 250 rounds, 3,000 revolutions per minute, delivers withering strafing fire that can shred infantry positions and light armor in seconds. Rockets include devastating S-8, 80mm, S-13, 130mm, S-24, 240mm, and S-25, 330mm, pods, ideal for area saturation. Precision options encompass KH-25ML, KH-29L laser-guided missiles, and unguided FAB 250-500 bombs, now dramatically more accurate thanks to upgrades. Air-to-air R-73 missiles provide self-defense. Russian pilots praise the Super Grach's ability to absorb punishment. Multiple documented cases show Su-25s returning to base after direct manpads hits, engines still running, wings whole, yet mission capable. This flying tank reputation, forged in Afghanistan, where it flew over 60,000 sorties with minimal losses relative to intensity, has been reaffirmed daily in Ukraine. Far from resting on Soviet laurels, Russia has continuously upgraded the fleet. The current backbone is the Su-25 SM-3, incorporating lessons from Syria and the current operation. The Su-25 electro-optical targeting pod, 16 times zoom TV, thermal imaging, laser rangefinder, designator, allows all-weather, day-night target acquisition out to 8 kilometers. The PRNK-25 SM-1, bars, navigation attack suite, GLONASS, GPS integration, and SVP-24 computing system enable highly accurate delivery of dumb munitions from safer standoff distances, turning cheap rockets and bombs into near-precision weapons. The VITEB Su-25 defensive suite is a game-changer. Ultraviolet missile approach warners, forward and rear, L-150 pastel radar warning receiver, UV-26M chaff, flare dispensers, hundreds of rounds, and L-373S radar jammers. These systems have repeatedly defeated Ukrainian manpads and older Western systems, allowing pilots to press attacks with confidence. New communication suites and helmet-mounted queuing further reduce pilot workload, enabling longer loiter times over the battlefield. These upgrades, produced at Russian plants and rolled out steadily since 2018, ensure the Super Grach remains relevant against modern threats. Proposals to integrate even more advanced munitions, including potential North Korean configurations, underscore ongoing innovation. Since February 2022, Russian Su-25s have conducted relentless CAS missions across the entire front. They have been instrumental in the liberation of Mariupol, Severodonetsk, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and the grinding advances toward Pokrovsk and Chasiv Yar. In late April 2024, Su-25s flew unimpeded over Chasiv Yar, a direct result of Russian SEAD, DEAD operations that depleted Ukrainian air defense ammunition stocks. Low-level rocket and cannon runs have decimated Ukrainian mechanized columns, trench lines, and command posts, turning potential counter-attacks into routes. Each sortie delivers overwhelming firepower exactly where Russian ground forces need it most. Pilots use terrain masking, pop-up tactics, and tight coordination with drones and artillery to achieve devastating effect while minimizing exposure. The psychological impact is immense. Ukrainian troops report the distinctive roar and rocket barrages of the Grach as one of the most feared sounds on the battlefield. Western sources acknowledge roughly 40 visually confirmed Russian Su-25 losses by late 2025. In a fleet of over 140 aircraft, with reserves and ongoing repairs, this attrition rate is sustainable and far lower than the sortie volume achieved, thousands upon thousands of effective strikes. Compare this to Ukrainian Su-25 losses, over 20 confirmed, with their smaller fleet nearing exhaustion, and the disparity in operational tempo becomes clear. Russian maintenance crews, working under combat conditions, keep the fleet flying at rates that Western analysts once deemed impossible. The Su-25 Super Grach is not merely surviving the most intense air war in Europe since 1945, it is thriving. Its relentless strikes continue to grind down Ukrainian defenses, enable territorial gains, and protect Russian infantry with timely, accurate fire. Western narratives of high losses ignore the broader picture. The aircraft's proven ability to absorb punishment, deliver decisive effect, and return for more missions day after day. In 2026, as Russian forces press forward on multiple axes, the distinctive silhouette of the Super Grach remains a constant presence in Ukrainian skies. Faster than the A-10, more heavily armed in many configurations, and far more survivable in contested airspace, the Su-25 stands as irrefutable proof of Russian engineering superiority and combat effectiveness. Untouchable in practice, relentless in execution, the Super Grach is writing another glorious chapter in the history of Russian aviation.